There are definitely more karma seals in the show that were probably used by Amado while creating his cyborgs. This also means there are more Otsutsukis on the planet, either sealed, ascended, or roaming across the world. When someone like Momoshiki says humanity's memories were rewritten by those beings, it makes us really curious to know who they are and what they did. Well, what if I told you the yet to be introduced Otsutsukis have some link with the cyborg siblings, and even Amado has no idea about this? So we all have been bored of Code as the main villain. The dude has been taking constant L's after L's, and while it could supposedly add value to his character development, the way omnipotence has overshadowed the whole show, I think Code won't be around for long. The thing which enhances this possibility is the only ally of Code known as Bug, and as you all know, a bug is known to create glitches in a computer code or program. It could be a possible foreshadowing of the downfall of Ishiki's successor. No matter his army is way too strong, since they are made up of the 10 tails, but a single shot of Daikokuten must be enough to seal them if executed properly. Kawaki seems to be neat and clean during the time skip, which makes me think that no one was able to mess with him, mainly because everyone sees him as the Hokage's son, who is the vessel of Momoshiki. They don't expect him to use the power to seal them out of nowhere, which makes him one of the most formidable people. Now you guys could say that Code is after the life of Boruto, so Boruto will need to deal with him and not Kawaki. Well, keeping in mind how miserable the legacy of Code has been so far, he would most likely target Konoha, thinking that Boruto is still there, and guess what? After some good amount of destruction, Kawaki would seal him with Naoto and Hinata. Now this is where things get interesting. There needs to be some new antagonist who is a worthy villain to appear after the downfall of Code. It could most likely be the one who would interrupt the fight of Boruto and Kawaki. Kishimoto has apparently been foreshadowing this character from the very beginning, and there have been hints about him everywhere. From the broken Otsutsuki panels to Momoshiki saying humanity was fooled by Otsutsuki who turned god. It could even be the same person who manipulated Amado into playing a big brain game with Konoha. I'm talking about the missing pair of Shibai, who's also an Otsutsuki god but decided not to ascend. Before I explain how this second Otsutsuki god has been foreshadowed at several occasions, there are a few points about Otsutsuki reaching godhood that I would like to mention. When an Otsutsuki evolves by consuming millions of chakra fruits, he gains the omnipotent powers in his mortal body and becomes formidable. Not all Otsutsukis ascend to higher realms just like Shibai. This means there can be an Otsutsuki god present on the planet who is secretly making his moves. Amado raising the possibility of Shibai could have been killed makes it clear that Otsutsuki gains immortality only after ascent. But the leftover body of an Otsutsuki god can be used to extract powers, explaining how Amado modified Aida and Daemon. However, the point which draws a connection between the cyborg siblings and the second missing Otsutsuki is their compatibility with Shibai's genes. That's right. I feel like the partner of Shibai is blood related to Aida and Daemon in some manner. There is no way for them to sustain the pressure of an experiment which involves the extraction of an Otsutsuki god's DNA into their body. The amount of children who died during the Jigen ritual proves this further. There are even hints hidden in their outfits that are full of stars and moons, suggesting their Otsutsuki connection. So how is all of this related to the big brain plan of Amado, and why would he be manipulated by an Otsutsuki god? Before going there, let me tell you guys that there were 3 times in the series when a new Otsutsuki duo was teased. Firstly, in the anime, 2 Otsutsuki statues were shown when Sasuke went to investigate Kaguya's dimension. It could be that they were some random ancestors of the Otsutsukis, but the fact that a pair was shown hints at something big. Secondly, there were 2 broken Otsutsuki panels in the Ten Tails dimension. Again, it's not a single Otsutsuki, but a pair who had visited the planet. And finally, Momoshiki mentioned more than one Otsutsuki had turned into a pairless being, which yet another time hints at the possibility of 2 Otsutsuki gods. A few more points we know about them is that they have changed humanity's history before, which is a possible hint for the Uzumaki lore. And since their powers aren't restricted like Aida, they could even use omnipotence on a single individual without affecting the rest of the world, in this case Amado. Seems like whosoever is pulling the strings behind the scientist is planning something truly evil. Shibai Otsutsuki leaving his mortal self behind is a proof of him turning a new leaf and deciding not to take more innocent lives for power. However, this other Otsutsuki god is the complete opposite of Shibai, a truly evil deity who's using Amado for some mysterious purpose. Shibai must even have some conflict with this evil counterpart and could have asked him to leave the mortal world as well. However, the evil deity was too dedicated on his purpose. He rewrote the history of mankind to make it seem like Uzumaki's died in a civil war, but in reality they were just facing the consequences of stealing Otsutsuki knowledge. So now that we know how powerful and evil this new villain is going to be. What exactly does he want to accomplish by Amado? I feel like he had killed his daughter in order to trigger him, and then he rewrote his mind with omnipotence, making it feel like she died from a disease. The suspicion of Momoshiki was true. Amado fabricated some parts from the daughter's story, but not on purpose. Even when Aida confirmed the existence of Amado's daughter, she did not mention the cause of her death. This is where the plan of the DD solidified. He made Amado transplant some special DNA in Kawaki's karma, which has nothing to do with Akebi's resurrection. When Jigen found Amado, he promised him to bring his daughter back, but the methods were unknown. Jigen did not think for a second that he's just a pawn to an even greater chess game that was being played by an Otsutsuki god. The whole Otsutsuki knowledge that Amado has could have been a boon of the same deity, who then rewrote his memory and made the scientist forget him. Maybe that's why he had no idea about a technique like omnipotence, simply because that's what made him a pawn in the game. The entire secret of the second Otsutsuki lies within the karma of Kawaki. The moment he puts his karma on another person, everything will get crystal clear. The reason that made the second Otsutsuki stay on Earth and mess with the lives of innocent humans is really mysterious. It can't be the hunger of power, cause he could have waged a war on the planet to accomplish that. What's something which requires the involvement of a karma and a vessel? If we think for a second, the karma transplants the data and consciousness of a person for the purpose of reincarnation. What Amado claims is that he has somehow modified Kawaki's karma with the data of Akebi, which is a bit suspicious. A human reviving through a karma seems really fishy to me. If Akebi was an Otsutsuki, it would have made much more sense. This brings us to the ultimate plot twist. What if the Otsutsuki god has lost a female relative himself, who's obviously an Otsutsuki, and wants to revive her with the help of Amado, similar to how Kaguya was brought back by the end of Shippuden with the help of Zetsu. This would be one of the greatest parallels and foreshadowings in Boruto so far, which would take the story beyond the brotherly fight. We shouldn't forget that Kawaki will need to put his karma on a clone made by Amado for the fulfillment of this well-planned game. The Otsutsuki god, along with his daughter or lover, would bring an unimaginable calamity to the shinobi world. A twist like this would reveal how love has an influence over most of the plots in Boruto. The evil deity manipulated Amado for the love of his relative. Amado got fooled by him cause he loved his daughter. Aida's omnipotence got triggered for the love of Kawaki. Kawaki became a revolutionary for the sake of Naruto. Naruto adopted and cared for Kawaki cause he had also been through loneliness. Code's obsession with Ishiki made him cross limits. Sasuke's love for his daughter made him go against his own mind, and so on. While I did not mention this missing seal in the whole video, it could be that it belongs to either Shibai or his evil pair. This shape is known as the heptagram or the fairy star, and if we use this detail in the context of the story, it can be concluded that Otsutsukis live in places that are way too identical to a human's perspective of the fairy land. The significance that this shape holds in numerous cultures across the world is also mind-boggling. Like in Catholicism, it is used as a sign to ward off evil. This yet another time hints at Shibai being a good deity, while the other Otsutsuki whom we discussed in the video is an evil one. Find out more about this missing karma seal in this video, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing content. I will see you next time.